This episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by the Farwide app, outdoor intelligence in the palm of your hand. This week, our own John Sullivan is headed to Saskatchewan on his very first black bear hunt. John has already successfully hunted for both the Alaskan grizzly and brown bear. And now he's traveling all the way up into the bush country of western Saskatchewan to a camp and an area that we know extremely well. Travis Price is our Steve's Outdoor Adventures expert on black bear hunting, and I asked him to book John on the best possible first black bear hunt. Through firsthand knowledge and experience, Travis understands every aspect of these hunts.
You know, just to watch their behavior, be in the stands and be up here amongst all these bears. And I feel so lucky to be able to take a great representation. So thank you so much, Aaron.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime.
Travis has filmed and experienced hunting from elevated tree stands as well as ground blinds, and he has killed a number of outstanding bears along the way.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Congrats.
Thank you so much, Wimper.
Congrats.
Really appreciate it. I'm super excited. Can't wait to get him back and get back to camp.
It's been nice having Travis as our go-to guy to talk to all of our clients that want to book these spring bear hunts, because he has so much firsthand knowledge, and these spring bear hunts are one of my favorites, simply because the success rate is usually pretty close to or at 100%, and our customer satisfaction rate is nearly 100% year after year.
How's it going?
Good, you?
I'm John.
Yeah, nice to meet you, John. Tyler.
Nice to meet you, Tyler. Excited to be in camp.
Good.
When we first arrived at camp, I mean, I was just blown away. It's, you know, we flew into Canada, flew into Edmonton, not a super long drive, but you realize you're really headed back into the wilderness, but you have modern amenities. You've got a, you know, totally comfortable cabin, you have Wi-Fi, incredible food. And I think this thing that stood out the most was Tyler and the crew that he's running here, all the guides, Chrissy, the camp cook. It's just an outstanding group of people and a really cool setup, and you understand that, you know, there's a lot of country to cover here, and, you know, for that reason you're gonna have a lot of bears.
We're here in Saskatchewan, got into camp late last night. First thing we do, first morning in camp always, you know, we traveled from the United States into Canada, had the weapons in transit, so we wanna make sure we check our zeros, make sure the weapons are all shooting accurately. Hunting this week with a crossbow topped with the Burris Oracle X crossbow scope. If you're familiar with the Eliminator, this is the crossbow version of that. So internal rangefinder, range the target, line up the lid aiming point, and your bolt's gonna hit where you're aiming every single time. Gives me a lot of confidence out here that when I finally get a shot at a black bear, you know, my gear's gonna do the job. So it's nice coming up here and having great equipment.
This week's Checking Zero was sponsored by the Adventure Armory, rifle, scope, and ammo packages for hunters. With his crossbow sighted in and confidence in his weapon, John and the other guests get ready for the next day and the start of their spring black bear hunt. This episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures has been sponsored by Burris Optics, and the new Eliminator 6. Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by Bergara Rifles, featuring the new Pure Carbon barrels and a sub-MOA guarantee. Most spring black bear hunts are an afternoon to evening hunt. You sleep in, eat a late breakfast, then take in some lunch and relax and get your gear together and usually head to your stand somewhere around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Part of the adventure here in Saskatchewan is actually accessing, your stands, your ground blinds, and the bait sites. And the way that you do that is you leave camp on an ATV and, ride out. You get to do some trail riding, get to try to spot bears, see whatever wildlife is there along the way. Definitely adds to the overall experience.
Yummy. It's day one here in Saskatchewan. We just pulled up to the bait site. There's a trail cam here. We're gonna pull this card. We're gonna take a look at it, see what's been hitting this bait. Obviously talked to the guides in advance of coming out here. We know there's a big bear in the area. They've seen him multiple times, but he's not hitting it every single day. So we wanna see if he was here yesterday, maybe even earlier today, and hopefully he comes back tonight. That bear's been here. Looks like he's coming in pretty late, which is what you expect from a big mature boar. If we see him, we are definitely gonna take him. Barrel's baited, cards checked. It's time to get up in the tree stand and, just hope for the best, see what happens. All right, we're up in the tree stand. We've got a nice shooting lane up to this bear. We've got, I'd call it decent visibility, but the woods are pretty thick here. I think we're gonna hear this bear coming before we see him, even though I know they're quiet. But we're about 35 yards to the barrel, well inside our effective range with the crossbow. With the Oracle X, we could back way far away from this, but closer is better, especially with a bow on a bear. So, we're in here for a long sit. Let's just see what happens. And hopefully he comes out and we get a shot at him tonight.
As usual, the first afternoon sit was productive. First, a big sow and her cub came in. And then a little later, another sow strolled in with not one, not two, but 3 cubs in tow. They monopolized the bait for the evening and gave John a taste of what spring bear hunting is like in Saskatchewan. This episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures has been sponsored by Pendleton Ammunition. Premium hunting ammo, hand loaded, 1 round at a time.
Afternoon, it's about 1 o'clock, just had some lunch, got our packs packed up. We're heading out, we're gonna go get in the ground blind today. So, excited to see some bears, see them come in on the bait, just talking myself through the pre-action plan, right? Let them come in, size the bear, don't get too excited. All the things you gotta do when you're out here hunting and there's a big animal in front of you.
And after a short ATV ride, they arrived at the location. Tyler rebaited the barrel with corn, molasses, and other goodies that the bears cannot resist, and set up a ground blind and left John to sit for the evening.
So we got the bait all filled up, corn, some beaver meat, some old meat left over from camp, and then, liquid sugar, molasses, and water. All those things are huge attractants for the bears. And then got the ground blind set up. We are now set up for just over 40 yards away. I'm trying to keep my voice down because we know there are bears around. We've heard them. We saw the one as we pulled up. So now it's, roughly 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to sit till dark and, just try to stay quiet, try to keep our scent concealed and, see what bears come into this barrel. And if the right one comes in, we'll get it done tonight. But, you never know. It's hunting.
Within the hour, the first bear came to the bait.
So we just had our first bear sighting here at the bait. I think it was a little boar. It was very clear right from the start he's not what we're after. We're not going to shoot that bear. But, give us a good feel for, there are bears around, his size compared to the barrel. Practice getting the crossbow up on the sticks. How we're going to go through this when the real action starts. So it was nice to have him come in. It always lifts your spirits when you see the target animal.
This was an active stand. Bear after bear came and went, and based on their behavior, John could sense that a larger bear was in the area.
Head is a little bit small for his body. He's just not a mature boar yet. So he gets a pass today. He's come back to the barrel twice now, but we're only at about 6:30. Guides have mentioned that the big boys don't come in until about 8 o'clock. So obviously we're going to sit through here till dark, and hopefully one of the big guys shows up. Everybody's acting real skittish, which makes us hopeful that there is a big boar in this area that's been hitting this bait consistently, and that's why every single bear we've seen is on edge. Very few of them are staying at the barrel. They're mostly coming and leaving.
Just before 8:30 in the evening, and with a lot of daylight left, John spotted movement and watched as the big bear that he was targeting walked into the bait. Is this the bear that John is after? Find out after this short commercial break. This segment of Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by Peterson Cartridge Company, extremely consistent, American-made brass rifle casings. If you would like to book this hunt or any other hunting or fishing adventure, give our office a call. We will gladly take your calls, answer your questions, and help you book the adventure of a lifetime.
We had seen a number of bears, definitely some juvenile bears, and they all look good, right? But you have to just be selective and take your time. As soon as that bear came in, he looked bigger than one of the mature sows that we had seen. And at that point, we knew he was a big bear. I knew I was gonna make the shot. It's my first time hunting with a crossbow. He presented just perfectly, stood there broadside, lined him up. He was well within the range, especially using the Burris Oracle X. We knew we could have walked it out even further, but it was very exciting to lay eyes on him. And even though I've hunted bears before, I've hunted a lot of species with Steve's Outdoor Adventures, I still had my heart racing. So it was like the first time all over again and just an awesome experience. Shot. Oh yeah, that's what we're looking for right there. Hair, blood. We heard him pile up. We're gonna have a dead bear right over here, I think. All right.
Did it make a hole in that?
Yeah, right here. Looks like.
Oh, sure enough.
Blew out blood onto the barrel.
Yeah.
Poked a hole in it.
Great shot,
Just
dude.
shows you the penetrating power of that broadhead, right?
Yeah. Incredible shot.
The crossbow bolt and expandable broadhead zipped through the bear, slamming into the barrel, and the bear ran off, leaving a good blood trail for John to follow.
There he is. There he is, he's piled up. Here in Saskatchewan, got put on a bait. We knew there was a big bear in the area. We'd seen a number of bears tonight. One of the bigger bears that we had seen was at the bait and immediately ran off. We knew we didn't spook him. We weren't making noise. We weren't talking.
There's human scent all over the place, obviously, because they're setting up baits. So when he ran off, we were thinking, okay, next bear into this bait is going to be the big guy here. And obviously we confirmed that. This bear walked in well above the barrel, just had a different look about him. You know, he looked like a real mature boar. And you know, I used the Burris Oracle X, ranged him at 41 yards, and you know, made a good shot. You know, put him down quick. We recovered him in a few minutes, and I've got my first black bear. So I am absolutely thrilled with this guy right now, and feeling very fortunate.
With the bear down, John cut his tag and reflected on the hunt while he waited for the guides to come and take him and the bear for a ride back to the cabin. This hunt in Saskatchewan is with one of our longest standing partners, and the lodging is fantastic and comfortable. The home cooked meals can't be beat, and the hunting year after year is outstanding. This particular operation gets a handful of permits, and we book our clients specifically for the month of May and into early June. Now, if you'd like to book one of these hunts for yourself, give our office a call. We're always available to take your calls, answer your questions, and help you book the hunting or fishing adventure of a lifetime. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week's show. But please remember to join us again next week when we bring you another exciting episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures. If you enjoyed this episode, please click like and subscribe to see more of Steve's Outdoor Adventures right here on YouTube.